Happy Mother's Day. Thanks, Sue. Who knows that as a mother, often if you don't laugh, you will cry? I have 4 children. I never dreamed I would have 4 children. It is a dream come true, but so I kind of did probably dream it. But cut a long story short, I met my husband when I was 18, and we had our first baby when we were 19, you know, when we got to know each other really well, and had saved for a deposit on a house and sorted ourselves out. Then we became Christians, then we got married, then we had another baby, and for a long time we just had 2 girls, and that is a great lifestyle, 2 girls. You can go anywhere, take them anywhere, they behave so well. And then when we were about 27, we thought, oh, we're so mature and, you know, we could handle another one, let's have another one. So that was the only one that was kind of planned. And God planned all the rest, you know, anyway. Then about exactly a year ago, I found out I was pregnant with number 4, and I just couldn't believe it. It took me the whole pregnancy, and he's 3 months old now, and I'm still not used to it. So we've got 2 girls one's nearly 13 and 10, and then 2 little boys that are 3 and 3 months. So I'm doing exactly what I was 10 years ago, but it's 2 boys, and it's really strange. But personally, I find the under 5s the most challenging. Like, it just doesn't come naturally to me, these little ankle biters. I'm just joking, I adore them. But like I say, if you don't laugh, you will cry, and the experience of labour is still very fresh in my memory. I don't know if I'm ready to laugh about it yet, but you know, everyone labours differently. I'm quite mute. I'm really quiet. I try to stay positive, and I just whisper things like, oh God, just let me die. Lord, receive me now. And there's always a lady down the corridor just going for it, eh? You know, the screamer, it's outstanding sound effects. And I feel the same as her. I don't have the energy to scream, I don't know what it is. And I think if I could speak, I'd be going, yeah, girlfriend! I'm feeling you! And no one tells you when you've just given birth that 5 minutes later you're going to have to get off the bed and go and have a shower. It's like, come on up, you get your lazy thing in the shower. But anyone remember that first outing out with your new baby? You know, when they're sort of 1 to 2 weeks old and you're feeling quite good, you're like, yeah, I might hit botany today and just do something normal and have a coffee. And it always ends in disaster, this first trip. I don't know why, I never learnt. But and usually involving yellow baby poo, you know, right up the back, right through everything, capsules full of it, and you just got to go home, and at this point you can't collapse your new pram that's brand new, you don't know how to collapse it, and you're in the car park. You're fully validated at this point to burst out crying. Then, if I remember, from about 9 months onwards, you have to take snacks everywhere you go. Don't ever think that you don't need snacks, just take them. But I warn you, these snacks can cramp your style sometimes. I remember I was in a clothing shop once, and I was on my own, and I pulled my wallet out onto the counter, and a raisin fell out with it. And I don't know why, but raisins just don't look elegant. Like, the shop assistant knew it was a raisin, I knew it was a raisin, but it's just, I was like, yeah, that's just my raisin, and I'm like, I'll just put that back in my bag. I'm cool. And raisins, ugly. Then there's a stage where the house is trashed. You tidy up, suddenly it's trashed again. Tidy up, trashed. Actually, that sounds like my entire marriage. And when it's completely trashed, you see a car pull in the driveway and a visitor has come. And at that point, it crosses your mind, okay, if I hide at the other end of the house, maybe they'll go away. My 3-year-old son, he is so cute. The other day, I got out the iron to fix a hem, because I'm that domestic. And he said to me, "What's that, Mum?" And I was like, oh, I have not got the iron out in his whole life. And I said to him, you know perfectly well what that is. It's an iron. And he said, iron. Auntie Emma's got one of those, but you don't use our one, eh, Mum? And I put him in timeout for that comment. But 3-year-old girls can say some insensitive things too. I remember once we were at a birthday party, and the little girl got given a My Little Pony, and she wanted to open it right then and there. And you know the packaging on those things, just over the top. You just can't get into the blooming things. And so her dad was cutting it with scissors and trying to pull it, and it wasn't happening. And after about a minute, my daughters looked at her dad and said, "My dad's much stronger than you." Luckily she was blonde and blue-eyed, so nobody suspected that it was my child. I was standing in the background going, "Oh, these European kids, it's just so rude." Anyway, so I admire mums with young kids at home. I could not have done it if I hadn't had the 2 and then the big gap in the 2. Have you ever noticed that as soon as you have 2 or more kids, the first child instantly becomes slave of the family? It's so handy. I rely on my nearly 13-year-old so much. You know, if we're in the lounge at night, we feel like a coffee, my husband will say, "Who's going to make Mum and Dad a coffee?" And we look around the room straight at the firstborn. She knows the look. And she's like, "Oh, why is it always me?" And we're like, "Honey, you're the slave of the family. The sooner you accept it, the sooner we can go on our OE, okay?" But seriously, I heard on Focus on the Family the other day, a woman, she was in her 50s, reflecting when she had young kids at home, and she said, "You're not just nurturing, you're not just wiping bottoms and noses." And I thought, oh, that's a good TUI's billboard. If you're a mum, you're not just wiping bottoms and noses. Yeah, right. But she said, "You're nurturing eternal souls." And I thought, oh, wow, that's really cool. That sounds like a real job. So mums, nurture those eternal souls, whether they're under 5 or over 5, and write down those funny stories, because you will forget them. Thanks for listening to me.